Welcome viewers to this session on element stiffness matrix derivation for truss elements of this course Finite Element Methods for Beginners. So I was receiving some of the requests that the element stiffness matrix that we have mentioned for truss element and beam elements, the derivation of those element stiffness matrix should also be given. We will be taking up in this particular lecture for truss analysis, and beam analysis will be taking up later. Lecture we will be covering local and global coordinates that we will be introducing, and the derivation of the element stiffness matrix. So let us begin our session. So this is what we already know, that a truss element is a two-noded element with 2 degrees of freedom u and v at each node. So it means there are 4 degrees of freedom in case of truss element. And we also know that truss element is made up of axially loaded member. So essentially that property will be using for deriving the element stiffness matrix, because axially loaded members means, or the truss element is basically a two force member where there can be n number of connection at two ends. So n number of connections means there will be n number of forces acting only at two ends. So for this particular element to be in equilibrium, the resultant of this system of force and this system of force should act either in this direction or in this direction, that is along the axis of the member. So that is the concept that we'll be using for element equation for the truss element. So let us introduce the same element once again, that is element node number 1. Here it is node number 2, node number 1. And let me introduce the local coordinate system for this truss, that is the x. Let us write it here, x star, and the perpendicular to this be z star. And the force acting here, they can be represented as fx1 star, that is the force acting at node number 1 along the local x direction of this, and along the local z direction of this is this at node number 1, and this is at node number 2 fx2 star, and this is fz2 star. I am not writing element like this, so just to reduce the cluttering of so many symbols on this. So the global coordinate system is like this. So this would be x and this would be z. So now I can also introduce the field variable in local coordinate system. So field variable in local coordinate system is u1 star and w1 star, u2 star and w2 star. So this we have followed the basic concept of the truss element. But now if we try to understand the basic concept of a truss member, that we have discussed, that it will be only loaded along the member, along the axis of the member. It means that there will not be fz2 fz1 in local coordinates. So these will be 0. Also there will not be any displacement, because there is no resultant force other than the force along the axis of the member, that is local x coordinate. So this will also be 0. So now we can redraw this as a simplified truss member so that we can understand the concept that we have applied on the truss, that is fx1 star. Sorry, this is node number 2 and here it is fx1 star. The element length would be L node number 1, node number 2, and we can write here the nodal variables. So this is u1 star and u2 star. So what is u1 and u2? u1 and u2 are the field variables and in local coordinate system for a truss element. So when we have, if we represent this in the global coordinate system x, y, let us say this point is A, and this point A has traveled a distance of u star and reaches to point A dash. So this is point A, some displacement, and it reaches to some point. This is, we are using Z here. So now it means in the global coordinate system it has traveled some distance W and some distance U. So U and W are the global displacement vector in trusses, where this U star is the local displacement. The displacement will be along local x axis of the truss member, and that local U star can be resolved into two components in global coordinate system. So this is what basically we have in this particular case. So for this particular member, we have derived this element equation, element stiffness matrix or element equation. So element equation, I am not using E, so I will not be using E here. So AE by L, 1, minus 1, minus 1 and 1. Then this is for, I am writing this element equation for this truss element in local coordinate system. So it will be U1 star for Eth element, that I am skipping. U2 star for Eth element, again I am skipping that. And this is equal to fx1 star, let us put star here on the subscript just to represent this, or fx star 2. So now this is in local coordinate system, but we understand that there are 4 degrees of freedom for this, and our element stiffness matrix should be 4 into 4. So now we are just writing this equation in 4 into 4 form. So how can I write? I can write AE over L 1 0 for the second degree of freedom, minus 1 the second node first degree of freedom, 0 0 0 0 0, minus 1 0 1 0, and then again 0 0 0 0. And let me introduce the local vectors nodal variable. It is u1 star, w1 star, u2 star and w2 star, and this will be equal to fx. So we can verify this. Let me verify this. After solving this, I get AE by L into 1 multiplied by u1 star. It means I get, if I write here for this as k, I get k times u1 star, 0 times w1, so it is 0, minus 1 times u2 star, so it is k u2 star, and then it is 0 times this, and this is equal to f star fx star 1. So again this there will be all terms 0, so no f z equation will be there. Then the next equation is minus k times u1 star, then it is 0, then it is plus k times u2 star, and this is equal to f x2 star, and last term is also 0. Ultimately we are having these two equations. We have represented this into 4 into 4 matrix. So now let us now it means we are comfortable with the representation in the local coordinate system, so that we can have the 4 into 4 representation, because in global we have 4 degrees of freedom per element, and we have the corresponding u and w. So with this, let us now proceed further. So now we can write down the element stiffness matrix in local coordinate system as k star delta star, that is equal to f star. So where k star is nothing but, with this we have local w nodal vector u1, w1, u2 star and w2 star, and this is the delta star, and now we can write down the f star, that is nothing but f x1 star, here f z1 star, f x2 star and f z2 star. So this is how we can write the different vectors, different terms in expanded form of nodal vector, force vector and stiffness vector. So now our aim is to transform this local coordinate system of x star and z star into global coordinate system of x and z. And this transformation is nothing but it is the transformation of axis from one axis system to the another axis system, and that transformation is we see the same type of transformation is computer graphics course or strength of material course when we discuss about biaxial state of stress, or the robotics course when we discuss about the rotation of frames from one frame reference system to the another frame reference system. The video of this rotation is available on my YouTube channel, and the link of the same is given in the description, so you can go through that uh, video to understand the concept of rotation, how the rotation matrix are developed or the transformation matrix are developed. So we here I am directly writing down the transformation matrix as when we transform one axis to into the other axis for node number 1, we get this as cos theta minus sine theta minus sine theta and cos theta. We'll also have the knowledge of the transformation matrix. The transformation matrix are orthogonal, so the inverse of transformation matrix is equal to the transpose of transformation matrix. So all those concepts you can learn through the video, that is the link of that is available in the description. So now we can write down in short that the f1 in local coordinate system is equal to the transformation matrix for node number 1, because the transformation matrix of node number 1 multiplied by the force vector in global coordinate system. So this is my local coordinate system, this is my global coordinate system, and I need the transformation of local into global. So I have to find out what is the value of f vector, and that will be equal to the transformation inverse, this transformation matrix inverse multiplied by the local force vector at node number 1. Here this 1 represents the node number. If I want to find out the transformation of second node, I will write here 2. So I can write the inverse of this, as I just told you, it will be equal to the transpose of this. You can find out the inverse as well, that you find, because that you can verify, because the transformation matrices are orthogonal, and the inverse of the orthogonal is equal to the transpose of the orthogonal matrix. So now I can write this F1 will be equal to, element I am skipping, transpose of this is cos theta minus sine theta and sine theta cos theta. So this is how I can write the transformation matrix from local coordinate system to global coordinate system. So similarly I can write for node number 2, that node number 2, it will be equal to cos theta minus sine theta minus, it is sine theta and cos theta, that is equal to the local, here it is 1, here it is 2. So F2 is nothing but, F2 is Fx2 and Fz2, and likewise this is nothing but, it is equal to Fx2 star and Fz2 star. So now I can write down the complete assembled local complete assembled nodal force vector as Fx1, Fx2. Again I emphasize that I am not writing the reference of the element Fx2 and Fz2, and this will be equal to the transformation matrix, here the transformation matrix for node number 1, but because the transformation T1 is equal to T2, I can directly write down even T, but to make it understandable to you, I am using the node 1 and node 2, but the transformation matrix will remain same whether we refer node number 1 or node number 2 of a particular element. If element changes, the transformation matrix changes, because theta may change. So it is Fx1 star, Fz1 star, F. So you can verify this by using this Fx1 first row, then other component will be 0, this will be multiplied by this 0, and this will be multiplied by this 0 for these two equations. So transformation matrix, the general transformation matrix for the complete element is given by cos theta minus sine theta 0 0 sine theta cos theta 0 0. So here it is 0 0 0 0, and here it is cos theta minus sine theta and cos theta. So this is my transformation matrix for the two noded element, and we know as the nodal displacement and nodal forces both represents vector quantities. So the transformation that we have understood for force is also applicable to the nodal variables as well, or the displacement, or otherwise in general when you see that video, it is a transformation of any vector quantities. It has nothing to do with whether it is velocity, force, displacement, acceleration, the magnetic field, electric field, so on and so forth. The transformation is valid, this transformation matrix is valid for any vector quantity. So now we can write down for nodal vector. So this local nodal vector is given by the transformation matrix multiplied by the local nodal vector. So we can write down this as the delta star is given by the transformation matrix inverse and delta. So next we will substitute these into the element stiffness matrix in local coordinate system so that we get the values in global coordinate system. So now substituting into our element equation in local coordinate system, that was given by this. So now we have obtained that the transformation matrix as T. So now we can substitute the into this equation, then we get the transformation matrix multiplied by the K star into transformation matrix multiplied by the delta. So now let us substitute the values. We get the K star, and here I will write the transformation matrix, transpose of transformation matrix, and then it is delta, and it's equal to the transpose of this transformation matrix and F. If this transpose and inverse both are same, so if I multiply this by transpose matrix, this is transformation matrix, we get this as K star multiplied by the transformation matrix transpose delta, and here this will be identity matrix, so we can write down F. So if I write this transformation matrix in expanded form, here I get cos theta minus sin theta 0 0, sin theta cos theta 0 0 0 0, cos theta minus sin theta 0 0, sin theta and cos theta multiplied by K star, that we have seen 1, AE by L will always be there, 1 minus 1 0 0, it is minus 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So this is my K star, and then the transformation matrix transpose, so it is cos theta sin theta 0 0 minus sin theta cos theta 0 0 0 0, cos theta sin theta 0 0 minus sin theta cos theta, that is equal to force. It's multiplied by, let us correct it. So it is to be multiplied by delta vector, and this is equal to force vector in the global coordinate system. If I multiply this quantity, I get the same that we have obtained or that we have introduced in our class, that is c square cs cs and cs square, and then it is minus of this, that is minus c square minus cs minus cs minus s square, then it is also minus c square minus cs cs s square, and it is plus c square is all minus, so c square cs cs s square. So this is what we get as the product of this, and that is why we call it as stiffness matrix in global coordinate system. So this is the derivation of stiffness matrix in global coordinate system for a truss element that we have introduced in our previous lectures. Thank you all the viewers for attending the session. Thanks a lot.